Merced, California. September 19, 1974. California Governor Ronald Reagan, along with his security detail, boards a Cessna aircraft bound for a fundraising event in Bakersfield. As the aircraft reaches an altitude of 35,000 feet, Governor Reagan is startled by a mysterious orb of light, which appears to be flying alongside his plane.
Ronald Reagan was flying in an airplane and had an encounter with an unidentified flying object. He asked the pilot to follow it. They followed it for a period of time.
Reagan is enthusiastic about this. When he lands, he says, "I just saw a UFO." He's not just being crazy, he saw the UFO. He knows exactly what it is.
The pilot that corroborated Reagan's sighting was Air Force Colonel Bill Painter, who claimed that the UFO appeared to elongate and then rapidly shoot up into the sky.
Some years later, the pilot was asked, did he really think that Reagan believed in UFOs? And the pilot said, after what we saw in the sky that night, how could anybody not believe in them?
According to historians, it was this incident that sparked Ronald Reagan's lifelong interest and belief in UFOs. But unlike other politicians who suffered ridicule for such beliefs, Reagan did not, and for a very simple reason. His closest aides kept him from speaking publicly about his UFO experience and his belief in extraterrestrials.
The people that worked for him really tried to keep Reagan under control, so to speak, because they knew that he was very interested in this subject and wanted to talk about it publicly. So they had to kind of keep the lid on it, if you will.
But did the UFO sighting influence Ronald Reagan's policies after he became the 40th president of the United States? And if so, could this have also been due to the fact that once elected, he was given even more direct knowledge of an extraterrestrial presence here on Earth? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and for proof, they point to a mysterious document that surfaced in 2005.
I became exposed to a very, very important document that March 6th to 8th, 1981, then brand new President Ronald Reagan was taken by his new CIA director, William Casey, to Camp David. With them were analysts from the CIA, the NSA, DIA. And this briefing boiled down to an introduction to Ronald Reagan of extraterrestrial species that William Casey was saying, sir, you need to understand that we are dealing with others on this planet.
Curiously, throughout his presidency, Ronald Reagan brought up the subject of what would happen in the case of an alien invasion, most famously in 1987, when addressing the United Nations General Assembly in New York.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Reagan was the first one who said publicly it just needs one extraterrestrial threat, and that would bring together the entire planet. So you have to ask yourself the question, did he know something